holding
legally
the plane
true.
hostage and said the plane is not going to move.
So I'm not pleased by the goalpost shifting that we are seeing happening, saying that because there was laying of hands on someone, this is more, is a bigger, more serious than the other. I don't think so. I don't think so. But hey, it's Nigeria, where the more you see.
Now, what makes this one particularly different? Yesterday after we talked about, there were quite a number of people, friends, who sent in message like, "Oh, Kim, perhaps you guys don't know the story. Did you see where they were moving her from the plane?" I didn't see that video as that one went on air. I
had seen it.
I promise you I hadn't seen it.
I know you hadn't.
And then I got out of the studio, and then a couple of people sent the video to me how she was dragged from the plane.
Yeah.
And her clothes torn. And her body exposed. And I felt, really?
Yeah. I mentioned it to you yesterday that her chest region got exposed.
It went over my head.
Yes,
because I didn't see the video, so I didn't think.
And I did emphasize on that particular point. I also mentioned that I later saw, after we finished the show, I saw a video, how on POV, where she recorded before the first video we all saw, where she was asking to exit the plane, where she began to record and was asking the female attendant to get out of the way so that she could step out. So and I also mentioned that she was putting on a wig before she got out of the plane.
Well, apparently a lot would have happened
before
even
the
her own point of
recording that
view
we all saw,
and all of that. So much must have happened. And quite a number of people have started to share accounts and say, okay, I was in that plane when she came in. They told her, turn off your phone. She said it was on flight mode. I can't turn it off on my own. Those are different accounts.
Yeah.
You can't tell which is which and which is made up and exaggerated. And then they spoke to her rudely. And people already held an impression that she's this kind of girl.
Yeah.
And so perhaps that's where it had of the disrespect. Yeah. You could always sense that something must have triggered it. But even at that point, I was like, no, your behavior is unacceptable. And I still condemn her behavior in total, what she did. But you know what? Having seen the video of how she was dragged out of the plane,
that was
it wasn't by airport security. It was by Ibom Air carrier.
It was a number of them.
People. And I'm thinking, how did they get to the point where they ripped her clothes off and dragged her out that way? Now, except she had a bomb on her chest that you fear might go off anytime soon. It was completely unacceptable.
Because this point you just raised, Kim, the plane isn't scheduled to leave anytime soon. Perhaps maybe in the next couple of minutes. They just arrived. Enough time to de-escalate the entire thing. The lady, yes, unruly. Let's all agree that she was being unruly. She was being rude. She was being whatever. I think and I believe that as far as customer relations is concerned, as far as what's this thing? This piece is concerned, the onus is on the officials of the airplane to ensure a swift and hassle-free de-escalation of that event. I believe that they could have talked the lady.
If it was
somebody should have talked the lady out of it.
If it was Kwam in that situation, that scenario with Ibom Air, I bet he wouldn't have been handled that way. I'm not saying Kwam would have thrown hands, but he poured liquid on someone and he tried to hold up a plane. But if he was the one, if it was Senator Adams or Shomole, they wouldn't have tried to pull him out of the plane the way they did.
They dragged
with that girl. Now, I agree that the video saying, she's trying to damage the plane and all of that. There's airport security for a reason. You bring them in, they will handle it if they need to cough or whatever, and they will do the needful. But it wasn't even handled professionally by the airline itself.
It wasn't.
I haven't seen that video. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't, Kim. It wasn't. And this one singular thing needs to be emphasized. That the officials of that said plane airline, they need to do better. How many people there against her?
At this point, there are a lot of people who are screaming she can sue. She literally can.
Yes, she should. She should.
Now, the airline can take up a case against her. NCA or whoever body can take up a case after proper investigation, just the way Kwamwan's case is going to be investigated 1 week after, no update.
Yeah.
I hope they do a thorough investigation, get all the backstory about this girl. As much as the staff who was assaulted has a right to sue her.
Yeah.
As much as the airline has a right to take it up, I think she has every right herself to take up a case.
Yeah.
For the way she was removed. Her behavior was unacceptable. But come on.
Yeah.
Honest to God, would they have done it to someone else? That way? Oh, well, everybody get Keisha. 2 wrongs can never make a right.
Well,
in that instant, but the airline should have done a little better.
Yes.
If they handled it a bit better, I mean, everybody will be on the case of this girl. But now it's so divided. Like, what? And then you put out the video. How many people were there and who recorded it and who thought it was a good idea to put out that kind of content to justify whatever happened?
This is another problem I have, Kim. It looks like we don't know when to stop. We don't know what boundaries are called anymore. That you recorded a video, and in that video contains explicit content of the nakedness of another human being. And then you saw the video and decided to tap the post button on your phone, on whatever app. I think that's beyond the line. You saw the video, you saw the content, and you knew that the content of that video contains explicit content of someone's naked app. Come on. All right.
Well, we'll get to see what, and this is calling out both the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace. We saw how you handled Kwam1's situation. We saw how you talked tough about his behavior. We also heard about investigation that will be done. It's an appeal to also do a thorough investigation as to what happened, what triggered, and how we arrived at what happened at the end of the day. It was a swift reaction to remand her and all of that, but it'd be fair enough to do a thorough investigation and look at all sides. The way it was also okay for the minister and the other agencies to call for a quick suspension of the pilot of Value Jet because they felt, a lot of process were not followed, security checks were not employed and all of that. It'd be nice to also beam your searchlight on Ibom Air, on how they manage this situation. We can't have double standard in this country, and it's marks of hypocrisy to treat one as if it's less gravity to the other. Ibom Air need to also be looked at and how they manage the situation from start to finish, as much as the comfort lady also needs to answer for her behavior, which is unacceptable. We cannot be the country where high and mighty get away with things with a flat apology, and then other people, just because you've profiled them to be this girl, that girl, or just a nobody, will be treated a bit more high-handed. So we need to do something about all of this. Let's go on a quick break. Benjamin wants to give us some bit of, who knows, the backstory. We're going to find out in a bit. Stay with 95.1 Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
We just like some music video. I don't feel they. I've seen Aria start with all the band with that kind of outfit, and you guys don't have a problem with it. And all of a sudden, you want to fetch things she put up on social media and say, okay, she dresses in a certain way and should be treated that way. Unacceptable.
No, we don't need to stay on conversations.
Exactly.
We don't need to stay on matters. And I'm worried, genuinely worried, concerned about the menacing, the speed at which we are going down the slippery slope, name calling on social media, name calling, cyberbullying. It's concerning. You look at people, if you just by chance get on the wrong side of social media, the things that you did not do, the one that you did will be exaggerated. The things that you did not do will be brought up. It's something that we need to begin to look at. That you have freedom of speech doesn't mean that you put someone down. Doesn't mean that you make someone feel less of herself. Can we stay on events and leave personalities?
Well, sometimes I'm afraid we can't separate the two. That's why it's a sum total of what you put, yourself and the things you put.
Well,
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. And that's half the time when we say, focus on the messenger, not the messenger. Like, I'm sorry, I'm also concerned about messengers. A messenger can dilute the quality of the
but Kim, that's a context. In this context.
In this context. Well, it's a sum total of it. Investigate everything that happened from Ibom Air and all this stuff. Because, in the case of WAEC and JAM, when they will say they release result and you be saying, student don't read, then you now find out it's a glitch. Perhaps we're too hasty also to looking at it. Interrogate every aspect. Plus, the air hostess are looking innocent on camera, and the one who was not captured on camera that apparently talked down on her to the Comfort MSN or whatever her name is girl, to all of the staff, and the man or woman who recorded that video and thought it was smart enough to put it out on social media and didn't think to edit or anything.
Yeah.
All of them need to answer. Yeah. NCA is saying in the Ibom Air incident, because maybe perhaps the staff was assaulted and so they acted up quietly, ValueJet also did have a complaint off camera that Kwamwan spilled the content of his flask on someone. That's assault also, if you don't know what it means. And quite a number of people also. There's just so much. Handle this thing better, investigate to get to the root of it. And the girl sure has a right to take this one up also for how she was handled. But right or wrong, can have the idea in court. Indeed. All right, so Kwamwan, what's the update? August 10, a passenger identified. Okay, we talked about that. Nigerians are asking the case of Kwamwan. It'd be nice to get the update as to the investigation. How long does it take to find out what really happened around ValueJet? Ibom Air has also denied releasing the indecent video of the unruly passenger. So, who put the video out?
Because it's got to be one of the persons there. And it wasn't
who put it out?
It wasn't the passenger.
The passengers had all disembarked.
Most likely not a passenger.
And then the person had a good angle to video it from inside to outside.
In broadcast, it's called close-up angle.
Exactly.
Close-up shots.
Yeah. So, quick to put a live ban before you investigate thoroughly. Quick to put everything and say, we're giving the girl a live ban. We're giving this one. No investigation. No point to say, okay, let's look into what she did. Let's find out what happened and blah, 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 blah. Too hasty. Can you guys not see that we're not very balanced and fair in the handling of all of this? But you know what? Let's move on to the next story. We'll get your 2 cents and your opinion on these stories and more after the break.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 12th, Esther Joseph of Hisak Academy, Lagos will
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
We'll continue looking at some of the big stories driving conversation. One of it is what we talked about at length. And for those of you who are scouting for your teen permit, I've been told it's been extended to the 7th of October, yeah?
Yeah, indeed. The IG of Police has announced that the teen permit application has been extended to the 2nd of October. So for people that don't like to get seen, for whatever reasons, good and bad, you have enough time now to keep applying for your teen permit. So that is also very crucial information there. And I'm really pleased, Kim, that even though people are having concerns concerning application, the website, I checked a few days ago, and there was slow response, as I don't want to say as usual, but there was really slow because I just did whatchamacallit now, renewal of my driver's license. I paid online. I went to FRSC Zone 7 and then FRSC Zone 7 for driver's license. And it was a very smooth process. Even though the server was down, I just kept following up. When it was up, I went there in 30 minutes.
Is there a day they don't have server down problem?
But the day I eventually did my capturing, it wasn't down. And in 30 minutes, I was out. So it shows that it's not every agency whose automated systems are faulty. But this one, many people have complained about that website that you don't get response. Sometimes it just crashes, shuts down, doesn't come up. You don't get feedback as regards your... Some people even complain that after they've made payments, they don't get a notification as regards whether their process has been successful or not. So there are a lot of concerns, and many people made outcry because it was supposed to elapse on the 12th of August, which is about today, as a matter of fact. But if you're going to use a tinted permit for health reasons, for security reasons, whatever it is, October 2 is a new date. And I want to believe, I sincerely agree with the government that there should be stiffer regulations. Now your NIN is going to be attached to the documents of the vehicle. So if the vehicle is not yours, you're driving a vehicle which is not in your name, you will need to contact the owner, the person whose name is registered on that vehicle, to send NIN. I don't know how you're going to do that. If you can't get that rectified, remove the tint. If it is factory fitted, change the glass. That's what they're doing now. And I think is a way to go to check the spate of insecurity concerns via vehicles, vehicle-related issues, robbery, kidnapping, and all of it. Some people just, tint the glass for arbitrary reasons. And I think it's really the way to go. So...
What was the joy of having a tint on your vehicle?
I love it. I can't drive a car.
Is it the sun? Because someone once did me like, man, your car does everything. You just see, like as if your door is open. You're like, I don't know, I never.
It feels like that. The few times
and then I mentally told myself, if I got another vehicle, it will come with a tint, because it felt so exposed, like everything.
It does feel very exposed.
That's why people should get permits, because if you want to conceal something, even if it's from the sun or the privacy and all of that, then do the needful. Okay, get the right documentation, get the right license for it, and the police has graciously extended to the 2nd. I know a lot of people have been queuing up there. A colleague of ours told us how he also went. There's a long queue, go and register on 3rd floor, this one, that one, and all of that, to even start off with the biometrics and all. So it's really a process where some people just like
those that are choosing to use other like agents, police officers, to get the process done. They're being charged for as high as 40,000 naira. Yeah. And meanwhile, on the platform, I think is about 15, if I'm not mistaken. So now that there's a lot of rush, as at early mid this
and you
year,
know what the rush is doing? You are now forced to look for somebody who works there. Like, I beg, help me facilitate. Just sort it out. It gives room for corruption, always. Because once you now give a deadline, everybody is now rushing. Before you can't wait the queue 4 hours, 5 hours, because productive man hour is wasted. And next thing you want to look for somebody and you tell you come to this other floor, go to that other floor, and the next thing you're getting it done. Niger. We're not try, but it's all good. 2nd of October is what it is. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has accused the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of detaining Aminu Tambuwal, former governor of Sokoto State, because he's a member of the opposition coalition. In a post he put out yesterday, Abubakar alleged that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is using a politicized anti-graft agency to coerce opposition figure into defecting to the ruling party. Tambuwal, who represents Sokoto South in the Senate, was quizzed by the EFCC on Monday. Now, the former governor was said to have withdrawn 189 billion in cash in violation of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. Abubakar also alleged that EFCC tactic has forced opposition governors to join the ruling party. The only reason the EFCC has detained the former governor of Sokoto State, Senator Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, is that he's a member of the opposition coalition, the Post reads, and it is a continuation of the Tinubu-led administration's agenda to harass, intimidate, and decimate the opposition. The reality unfolding before us today is that Tinubu's administration, as with other aspects, has objectified the fight against corruption as a political tool to coerce opposition leaders into the ruling party. He had plenty to say and all whatnot. But you know what? EFCC invite you, bros, come and answer how you withdrew this amount of money in cash in violation of the Money Laundering Act. Go and answer.
Case closed.
Explain. People need to get to the point of understanding that accountability must be something that we uphold in this country. People can't just come in and hold the office and you think they can be called to question. You can't call them and like, okay, you did this, I guess this act. Because you're executive governor, you are excellency, and nobody can call you after your time in office when you no longer have the immunity and ask questions, and then we politicize it. I mean, we've done that, too much of it. With Buhari's administration when it was the PDP, and we're like, witch hunt. But like, is there a question or two they need to answer? Yes, go and answer it. If there's nothing, go home free. If there's something, pay for it. Now, we all know that, yes, everything will be politicized. Every single thing has the political undertone. Is it going to go away overnight? Maybe not. But if he held office and they said you withdraw 189 billion in cash in violation of Money Laundering Act, come and answer the question. Go and answer the question. Are there people in the ruling party who had a case, who had gone to answer questions quizzed initially by the EFCC, and today their case is quiet? Yes, they are, from our Senate president to all of them. They have had cases with the EFCC and it's gone quiet. And then he reminds us of what was said by a party member who says, if you come into the APC, your sins are forgiven. Nigerians have not forgotten that, but that's not to say people will not answer for their time in office.
Indeed.
His sins might not be forgiven because he's in the opposition, but he must answer some basic question as to how we manage our resources when he was governor. Now, where brows will be raised is how you handle it. The same way we're bringing Kwam and Comfort and saying, how are we having double standard? What's this hypocrisy? Yeah. Because one person has a king to his title and the other person does not, and then we want to be unfair. It's the same way we're going to look at it. Like, why is this man allowed to sit comfortably legislating when his case has gone quiet and someone else is being brought forward and tried differently? So answer your question. We'll see how it proceeds from that point on. But you know what? We should stop making excuses. And he's a politician talking anyway for his fellow politicians, so I can understand. I doubt Nigerians will wake up and say, oh, he's been witch hunted over this.
But Kim, the fact is that this, the statement of the Waziri of Adamawa is a pointer as to what is the norm in that space. What is the norm? What they are used to doing. Somebody withdrawing 189 billion naira in cash. If I'm very sure that money, I can't even imagine how many Ghana must goes was used. I don't know. I'm just thinking, we're not talking about 189 million naira. 189 billion. So it was a billion. Sometimes we call these amounts of money and they fly over our heads because we are used to calling them. We're used to talking about them. 189 billion. They got 1 billion in cash. 2 billion, 3 billion. So you look at the magnitude of these offenses, of these infractions, and it's a slap on our face as a nation that there's even a debate, a defense. If there's an allegation and you're being invited. Oga, go and answer. It's as simple as that. But at the same time, what we are seeing here is a pointer as to what I believe, because if what Atiku is saying here, looking at it from his perspective, is a case of this thing a normal thing now. So why is he being, why is he now being the one that is pursued up and down? Why is he the one that is being invited? This is a normal thing. So it is a tool on the part of the FCC from whoever to, oppress this person so that it doesn't stay in this political party. I think that when we look at all these things happening, it's worrisome.
I think he's talking like an average Nigerian politician. Always look for, that bit. And it's also possible, very much, because we're in Nigeria, to say that the reason he was invited also is because he's in the opposition. We're not going to pretend that there is no effort by the ruling party to weaken the opposition or absorb them into their party. So any strategy whatsoever. And given the fact that we've had a party member who even held significant position in terms of the party leadership say, if you come into this party, your sins are forgiven. It means that the people who are not in that party are the ones whose sins will be chased to the end at that point in time. So answer your question, Your Excellency, and we'll see what happens afterwards. But people cannot hold office and think that they will confuse us with the politics of things.
That kind of statement, Kim, shouldn't be made. It was a careless statement.
By who?
The person that made the statement.
Which part of the statement is careless?
If you come into a political party, your sins are forgiven. That's a careless statement.
It was not carelessly said. It was well calculated, and it was a dog whistle to people who understand high pitch dog whistling. Come join us now. We'll not go try you. If you don't try us, we'll go harass
That's the
you.
carelessness.
It was not careless. It was deliberate.
Deliberately.
Well calculated message sent to a certain political class.
Yes.
That comes off as being careless to you, but it was well orchestrated.
All of the adjectives you used, yes, but the harm of that particular statement. Now, where does this leave the room for opposition? When you're threatening people that if you don't join up, now look at most of the political parties around that should be playing opposition.
All right. Well, we'll leave it. Gabriel is asking tons of questions. We'll leave it to your interpretation also. Join the conversation. It's the big 0700 951 0000 or 0809 5974 869.
Hello?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Good afternoon.
I agree.
Okay, go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello?
GB, I agree to work, my brother.
Welcome.
The Oracle.
Yes, sir.
This is Ijinola calling from Atokoro.
Go ahead, sir.
You see, as much as Gabriel was saying their statement was careless. One of this your program, I was also saying it to, I think it was to ITO, Itodo. When I was telling ITO about the statement, he said, "Oh, later the person now say no, they misquote him." You see, politicians will say something, and then later they will tell you, they will now come and twist that and say, "No, this is not what I meant." Kim, as much as you want to say that you account for what they do, I'm in support of that 100%. If you do something wrong, you should be able to come and explain what you do. This is how I spend it. But you cannot leave it out that it's not politically motivated. EFCC has been political. See, Madam King, there's no way you want to convince Engineer Ola. The issue about Yaya Bello, it happened immediately. They make this chairman EFCC. He said, if I did not make sure that I get Yaya Bello, I did that. He was saying the national on one of the interview. He was swearing, Madam King. Where's Yaya Bello today? Nobody knows where's Yaya Bello today. So see, we know, and like I keep saying it, we are acting under this administration as if everything is normal. Under this administration, Madam King, everything is not normal. And the person that is there, he wants just you don't want to say you want a free ride onto the second time. You see that signature.
All right.
Signature on his head. That 8 signature on his head that is always wearing.
All right.
To make sure that he fulfills at all costs. So,
all right.
No, that's the fact.
Thank you very much. Let's make it 1 minute because we have a lot of people waiting.
Father Kim, how are you?
Fine and well, sir. Good afternoon.
Kim, I greet you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mazi.
Let me start from Ola said where Bello is still in Nigeria. I remember him to call asking for his document, so he's still around. But saying that inviting anybody, a former governor or anybody, is politically motivated, I do not agree with that. So how come nobody has invited P2B? If you're honest, I think they won't have anything. But when you have some skeleton somewhere, but they invite you in the next 10 years. Of course, your political opponents will look to you down so that they can win you. If you are claim, they will have nothing. But the most important thing was that happened yesterday. The people they compare. In this nation, they have a constitution of a republic, and everybody voted. I have said it. We have one for the poor, the nobodies, and one for the rich. And what was whoever you call him did is worse than what this did. How come nobody touched him? You understand? We ought to focus. That is the truth. He is the one that they are supposed to bundle, tie him, because this one is nobody. Nobody knows him. They now and Kim. The annoying thing is that he was a lady that stripped her. Watch the video. It was a lady that had to pull her just to disgrace her because you would have slapped her back.
All right.
He went to naked and exposed her chest everywhere. A fellow lady.
All right. Thank you very much, Destiny Anthony. Appreciate. Let's hear another caller.
Hello. Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead, even though the connection is poor.
Okay, my name is Umar.
All right, Umar, go ahead.
I agree with this. That lady actually, at the aircraft was a very bad one. Anyway, that's why I called. My take is about 198 billion.
89.
Hello?
189.
189 billion. 189 billion. See, a billion naira. It takes 100 million, 1 million in 100 places. So, where is carrying on for? Now, bus or the truck, that try to load down. Because I'm not trying to agree with them that this happened. You understand? Except the man will carry away the mad. You cannot see what you don't need. It's not terrible. I don't know. I don't really want. I don't figure them out. If you can touch money in cash, 100 plus billion. When they test our brain, it needs.
All right. Language enough. You can say these things without getting to that extent. Thank you very much.
But you see,
let's not sound as if we don't have a lot of cash circulating in all kinds of currencies, both local and foreign currency operating in Nigeria.
How do you carry such money? How do they carry them?
So that's why they called him now to come and answer. Those are important questions to answer also.
Hello.
Oh, thank you, Umar. His call dropped.
Yes, hello.
What they did was, I want to talk about the inviting of the former, I'm to see
the governor of Sokoto State. Are you ready? Okay,
I don't think he is
distracted by something.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. There we go again. Good afternoon. Can you hear us?
No.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
It's Gabriel Spector, not Utodo.
Sorry. My name is Kingsley. I'm calling from Otago.
Go on, Kingsley.
Okay, I think I shared the sentiment with the last speaker. I mean, 100 and something, 90 something billion. I think the last time I checked, during Soludo's tenure as a CBN governor, bank capitalization was capitalization needs. And if capitalization is assumed, the last capitalization of 25 billion, I don't think a branch of a bank can have a cash up to 100 billion in their votes. I doubt. I think a banker should call and help me out in this case. So what EFCC is saying that he will do such amount of money in cash does not sound real to me, because I doubt if a branch of a bank can have such volume of money within the banking hall or in his booth at once. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's hear another, and then we'll read messages.
Hello.
Anybody,
are you there?
Anybody home? All right, let's get to our WhatsApp messages.
Okay. Anonymous sort of disagrees, okay? It says there was nothing wrong with the way she was removed. She committed more than 2 wrongs. Did you people not see when she attacked a male staff who was sitting on his own in the bus and she nearly choked him with his tie? She can sue for that video being released without blurring out her chest region. But if the airline should decide to take on her matter, infraction by infraction, offense by offense, it will be a long time before she leaves jail. At the very least, she committed assault, criminal damage, vandalism, and possible attempted murder. It took 5 men to hold her. Yet people want to make it sound like she was just a puny, helpless woman. I laugh. All right. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Casey says, Kimberly Wachuku, if you remember, Senator Adams Oshomole started this aviation series, Wahala. Then
it didn't start it. There's been tons of drama. It's just because the senator was involved. We talked about that.
Became notable.
Before that, there've been tons of drama. People have been fighting at the airport over their flight being delayed, cancelled, and all kinds of drama. I remember that man even during campaign who was shouting and they had to remove him from the plane. Maybe today drama start.
Indeed. All right. Casey says, like the law is for the poor. It is what it is. It is what it is. Chiameka from Abushi says, good afternoon, Kim, and my good friend. I salute you all. This action taken against her raised concerns about proportionality and fairness. The ban, court charges, and public exposure of her sensitive parts, including her chest region without her consent, may be seen as excessive and potentially violating her rights. See Section 34, subsection 1 of the Nigeria Constitution as amended. The manner Ibom Airline security agents handled the whole matter is unacceptable, unpredictable, and unprofessional. All right. Good afternoon, Kim. The scenario was a shameful act at the airport between the passenger and the airline, and we, the chief judges, were quick to rush online and radio to start passing judgments. She was recklessly in her approaches. Okay, I don't understand this, and mannerless, and the airline was not diplomatic enough to handle her disobedience and unruly behavior. The Kwam 1 scenario cannot be compared with the Comfort's action. I'm very convinced that the lady can go ahead and sue Ibom Air, but she's going to be guilty of her actions because there is a recorded version of her unruly behavior from her departure time to arrival destination. I'm waiting for an outcome investigation about Kwam 1. Radio Senator sent that one in. All right, take a few more. We have quite a number of voice notes, Kim. Austin from Itama says, if my son is driving my car for commercial purpose, whose NIN will be on the car? The person whose name is registered on the car. I'm sure you both don't have the same biometrics or fingerprints. I hope that answers the question. Social engineer Comrade Fordu says, Kim and Gabe, the ugly and unacceptable incidents at the airport is one of the signs that normative culture as Africans has a serious problem. While growing up in my village some years ago, it was almost a taboo for a man to treat a woman anyhow in public. Talk more of dragged her half naked in public. Because possibly due to the collapse of our normative culture, many Nigerians don't know how to handle women in public. It is the normative culture of society that makes social relatively peaceful, cohesive, and livable. Due to much alien values we have enforced into, most Nigerian men don't seem to remember that our ancestors traditionally had peculiar ways of handling women in public, even in pre-colonial times.
The thing is, we've gotten used to, and I'm sure you've seen tons of this kind of situation where they'll catch a thief, you beat the person, you strip them naked.
Yeah.
It's something that people just assume it's a way to shame someone here.
Yeah.
It just tells how very backward a group of people who perpetrate such are at the end of the day, if you think that's one way to send a message. So I don't care what the behavior was. That was totally out of line by those people who handled it. Totally out of line.
Yeah. Hello, Kimberly. Ibrahim from Asokoro. I think that's his statement message. Come to a party and your sins shall be forgiven is what former Delta State Governor Kowa think of, and he decided to join the APC party for allegedly for a legal.
Well, is someone also, his own is even trillions, right? That they are investigating.
1 trillion naira.
1 trillion naira. Okowa is now with the APC, but we have not forgotten. The FCC might not have your file on their table in view, but we, the people, remember that you have a case to answer.
What are we going to do about it?
We remember.
We just remember.
How they say in Game of Thrones, do not ever forget. I mean, was it in Game of Thrones? Which one? We'll remember.
I'm sure.
But we'll always bring it up in every conversation that you have got a case to answer, except you've been cleared of that and there's no substance to it. We'll remember.
You know, Kim, this money's being handled in cash, and it's not just one person. I want to believe, I do not have empirical facts to back this up, but I want to believe an average politician at the top level in Nigeria does this. It's one of the ways they launder money, because this money now doesn't have any traces. What account was this money put out from? Like Umar asked, what bank or how many banks were these? Do you know how many banks you need to get 189 billion naira?
All right, while you guys are asking about all of that, the heavy lifting of the cash, we'll just wrap up the conversation here. And do we have a break or just look at more? Okay, we can take this because we'll be warming up for day 2 of I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions. And yesterday, I'm trying to contain so I do not think it's pride. Team Abuja.
I have a video.
Team Abuja did not only get the debater of the day for yesterday, we got the 2 Team Abuja emerged victorious yesterday. So, Our Majesty emerged team debater of the day because he was brilliant. And then Helen Abu Paul, who kind of lost out by half a mark to her opponent, returned back into the race as the best loser in the white card. So she is back in. So it means that for yesterday, of the 3 people who scaled through, 2 of them are Team Abuja. And today, we have Masiri Ruth Masiri from government Tungamaje, Government Science Secondary School Tungamaje. And then we'll also have Damilola Favor from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Meitama, 2 different elements of the debate. So go Ruth, go Damilola. We are rooting for you guys. And once we're done with the news at the top of the hour, we'll join the studio. We join the studio for the national tournament of the debate. So just stay with us on that particular one. Let's see if we take this one. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Gabriel.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, Gabriel. Yeah, the reason why I called, this is Jex calling from Cuba.
All right.
The reason why I called Gabriel is because of what your experience on where you went to FRSC, right?
Yes.
Okay, I put it to you, Gabriel, that by this time, you were happy that you went there and everything was done seamless without order. Yeah? But I'm putting it to you that by this time next year, you've not collected your license.
The license itself?
Yes, the license itself. By this time next year, you won't get it renewed. They won't get it renewed, and you won't see it to collect at all.
I would like to differ. I would like to differ because the temporary license is going to be valid for 3 months, except they're going to be asking me to drive with an expired temporary driver's license. You understand?
That's what I say. Today is what, 12th August. By this time next year,
that's a lot of faith you've lost, my brother. That's a lot of faith you've lost. I want to be more optimistic than that.
I don't know. Just today down.
Okay, noted.
All right, you're speaking out of your own sad experience. Don't jinx Gabriel.
It's projecting.
Hello, anybody there?
Good evening.
Welcome to the show.
I'm here.
All right, go ahead. Talk to us.
Yeah,
Sir.
my question to that of Tambuwal arrest. Is there no cap to which bank can release to an individual coming to withdraw money for a company, for self, and from a government coffers like that of the state he was representing? Then, as at that point, what is supposed to be the penalty of the bank that released, even if it is 2 billion, 1 billion per person to come and withdraw in a day, or it was being withdrawn from time to time, day to day, and all of that? Because I want to see a situation whereby even the banks will begin to arrest them. Civil servants that aids corruption should begin to be arrested, punished, so that things can be reduced from even the little persons that make this to happen. Then for the lady who had the issue with the bomb air, why the rush and why was the case shifted to October 2nd or what month in October that she will stay in Kirikiri up until how many months from now? Why is it so? I don't understand. Or it's just a social media news I just got. Thank you for this opportunity.
Well,
Noel is the name.
Thank you very much, Noel. I would confirm how long the case will be there until it will be charged to court, that is. But there's also an amount of time you can hold someone and before charging them to court. The 2nd of October we mentioned was 14th permit. I would have to confirm the other one. All right, we'll take a quick break for the news at the top of the hour, and then we'll link up with where the debate is happening as we get into day 2 of the Tournament of Champions. I beg to differ debate 2025. Stay with us.
Let's talk. This is